All guys make mistakes. Don't be a
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Every time I see Eve's dad on my screen, I want to jump through it and strangle him. He is honestly hot garbage, straight ass, trash, basura, every language in the world for garbage. And I like to mention before I go any further in this video, I'm not following the comics, but the show only. But people are telling me in a non-spoiler way that he is much worse in the comics than in the show. In the world of Invincible, a show already brimming with violence, betrayal, and questions of morality, few characters elicit the visceral rage that Eve's parents do. Eve's father, Adam, is not merely harsh, he is actively cruel. Her mother, on the other hand, is tragically passive. Together, they represent a deeply broken household that Eve, against all odds, chose to rise above. It's laughable that he acts like Eve is some kind of monster when superheroes are a known thing in this universe. His disdain for Eve isn't rooted in logic, it's born from insecurity. He consistently belittles her intelligence, condemns her compassion, and treats her superpowers like a disease. Bro, you live in a world full of superpower individuals, from alien invaders to government-created zombies. Your daughter messing around with molecules isn't that strange. While he does care for Eve, his attitude isn't grounded in fear for her safety. It's grounded in the fact that he cannot control her. His rejection of Eve's offer to support the family financially even after losing his job further proves this. When she literally offers him a golden apple, a metaphorical and literal solution to their financial problems, he turns it down.
Why?
Dude really had a choice between infinite money and hating his daughter, and chose hating on his own kid. Listen, Linda, I get it. You want to be the breadwinner and the sole provider for the family, but my guy, you're falling on hard times. It's either take the damn apple or start a OnlyFans.
Oh, she's not gifted. She's just weird. She's just weird.
Nothing but a punk, your daddy's a punk, and your mama's a bitch.
Adam's obsession with Eve living a normal life doesn't come from a place of love or even concern, not in the way a healthy parent might worry about their child getting hurt. It feels more like control, almost as if her uniqueness threatens him. It's really given the energy like, oh, she can't be more special than me. Just like the Dursleys in Harry Potter, they despise anything magical because it disrupted their worldview and made them feel inadequate. Adam seems to hate anything extraordinary in Eve, her powers, her intelligence, her potential, because it reminds him of how ordinary he is. He doesn't want her to shine because her light casts a shadow on his insecurities. If Adam's concern were genuinely rooted in safety, he'd be asking questions about how she's protecting herself or worrying about villains finding out her identity, but instead, it's about her being weird or not normal, which shows that it's not fear for her safety, it's discomfort for her power. It feels like he can't stand that his daughter doesn't fit the narrow little box he wants her to live in, and rather than learning to understand her or accept her, he'd rather try to crush the parts of her that make her exceptional. That's not love, that's ego. If Adam is the hammer, then Eve's mother is a soft silence that lets it fall. Her passivity is frustrating, especially because it's clear she loves her daughter. But love without action is neglect. She never defends Eve, never stands up to Adam, never questions the emotional abuse that's happening right in front of her. She embodies the role of the submissive wife who believes that keeping the peace is more important than protecting her child. And in doing so, she becomes an enabler of the very abuse that causes Eve to seek solitude in the woods away from her family. Eve's mother isn't just a victim of her husband's worldview, she's a transmitter of it. Her silence is complicity. I'm telling y'all right here, right now. If Eve was born a boy, it's likely he would have been more accepting, but as a powerful young woman, she represents everything he is not and everything he can't stand. The most glaring moment that peels back the layers of Adam's character is when he tells Eve to forgive Rex for cheating on her.
Forgive him.
What?
All guys make mistakes.
Her father is ridiculously repulsive. Being cheated on by someone you trust and care about hurts on a whole nother level. Like, how do you accidentally slid inside 3 different people? And not to get too heavy on the topic of cheating, but when someone cheats, what they're saying through their actions is, your feelings were important enough to factor into my decision. I knew this would hurt you, but I did it anyway. My desires matter more than your trust. Cheating is not something that just happens. It involves multiple conscious decisions: to engage, to hide, to lie. Each step in that process requires the person to put their own needs above the emotional safety of their partner. That's not a momentary lapse in judgment, it's negligence of someone else's heart. Because love doesn't just mean passion or attraction. It means respect, restraint, and responsibility. So when someone cheats, what they show is that they knew what was at risk, they chose to risk it, and in doing so, they prioritized themselves, not you.
And that's on period.
This isn't love, this isn't care, it's selfishness, plain and simple. Listen, while Rex did get better in later seasons, it'll always be f him for cheating on Eve with Duplo.
I'm horny. I'm horny. Come on.
Her father really said, men make mistakes all the time, cheating as well. You need to humble yourself, girl. And proceeds to call his only daughter a Fuck you, you double chin, Peter Griffin, built body, Ozempic, no hairline, fat ass, can't see past my stomach, big back, bitch.
Damn!
That line alone got me so heated. It gives strong indications that Adam may have cheated in the past himself, or at the very least sympathizes with those who have. People don't rush to defend cheaters unless they got something to hide. Adam's comment wasn't just an insensitive fatherly slip up, it was an exposure of his own worldview. He clearly sees women as needing to humble themselves in the face of male wrongdoing. It's less about forgiveness and more about submission. This is where the misogyny rears its head. In his mind, men are allowed flaws, women are expected to endure them.
All guys make mistakes.
Flashback. End of flashback.
Let's include a hospital scene where Eve was heavily injured during the Invincible War. The way he barges into her hospital room after she's been critically injured and immediately goes into confrontation mode when Mark is incredibly telling. Rather than focusing on his daughter's well-being or even just asking what happened, his first instinct is to assert control, to mark his territory, so to speak. That whole,
She's our daughter. And we'd like some privacy with her. She's our daughter.
I don't give a fuck.
line doesn't feel like a father expressing concern. It feels like someone trying to remind everyone around him that he still sees Eve as his, as someone who must answer to him even while unconscious in a hospital bed. The way he speaks to Mark doesn't come from a place of fear or love, it comes from pride, from an insecure man trying to reassert authority over a situation that threatens his fragile sense of self-worth. He's not just reacting to his daughter being hurt, he's reacting to losing control of her, to the reality that she's living a life he doesn't dictate, around people he doesn't choose, doing things he doesn't approve of. Adam didn't need to say anything, but he chose to go out of his way to say something, to puff his chest and declare dominance, bouncing on his heel like, yeah, that's my seed. Even in a moment that should have been about grief, concern, and family, is really tone deaf. But if we're gonna be so for real, we all know he was lingering over Eve's hospital bed and was like, I told you so. I told you this would happen when you play superhero. What makes it hit even harder is how believable it is. There are men in the real world who operate exactly like this, who see their daughters not as individuals but as extensions of themselves. Their love is conditional on obedience. obedience. They want respect without earning it, and any threat to their authority, especially from other men, gets treated as a challenge rather than an opportunity for support or growth. But what truly highlights Adam's failures is when you compare him to a parent like Debbie Grayson. Like Adam, Debbie has no powers. Debbie is surrounded by superpowered children. One of them is literally purple. The other one has several variants cause mass destruction, wiping out entire cities. She has faced supervillains attempting to kill her, put in danger by the government, and the psychological trauma of being married to Omni-Man.
I do love your mother, but she's more like a pet to me.
That was rude. That was pretty fucking rude.
And yet, through all of this, she has never abandoned her children. She never gets upset at them for the pain their powers bring to their lives because, I don't know, she's a mom. She doesn't shrink away from Oliver, who isn't even her biological son. Instead, she embraces him with the same love and care as if he was born from her own body. Because this is what a mother does. She loves her children unconditionally, even when it hurts. Debbie recognizes that none of her children asked for this. They didn't want power, danger, or the expectations placed on them, and so she gives them grace. She supports them. She allows them to stumble without making them feel like failures. She shows up time and time again, no matter how hard it gets. The real punch to the gut is that even Paul, Debbie's new boo thing, has shown more warmth and involvement in these children's lives than Adam ever has. And I know I mentioned over and over again, Adam fearing his daughter's abilities seemed to be a core part of his behavior. It's possible that a part of him is terrified that Eve might one day reject him entirely or even turn on him. Not because she's shown any signs of that. Eve has always wanted to help, to connect, to do good, but that's not how he sees it. What if one day my superpowered godlike daughter decides to attack me and I'm powerless to do anything about it? And since he can't physically control her, he tries to emotionally manipulate and belittle her instead, to chip away at her confidence before she ever realizes how powerful and independent she truly is. You know, it also doesn't help that Eve takes no efforts to disguise her face. Rather than guiding her, he scolds her and alienates her. It's not "I'm scared for you," it's "I'm scared of you and I hate I can't control you." What makes it worse is that Eve has never given him a reason to be afraid. She's kind, compassionate, responsible, and genuinely wants to use her powers to help people, including her own family. But Adam doesn't see the person Eve is. He sees the threat she could be if she ever stopped caring what he thought. And that's why his fear twists into cruelty.
Your powers don't make you a hero. They make you dangerous. They make you dangerous.
In the end, Eve's power doesn't just lie in her abilities, it lies in her choice to be better. To still love, give, and still grow despite being raised in a household that tried to clip her wings before she could fly. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the notification bell so you never miss an update. And also, happy Father's Day to any of the dads out there. And don't worry, the Sasuke and Sakura video is coming out later on this week. Bye!